And thus we conclude base science masterwork, a masterpiece of a scientific experiment, Tropics all day experiment. 9 months of pure base science, where we basically answered all the important and hot questions most of the lemmings, NPC, retards, and even the geniuses are looking for. We conclude this experiment from the beautiful Finnish forest. For this summer, Mr. Base Science is Finnish maxing. That's gonna be my next video. But today, we talk about all the most important stuff I discovered in Tropics all day experiment that started last September the 17th. Now it is the end of the May. We spent 8 months in the tropical Central America with the volcanoes, with the Pacific Ocean, with the Caribbean Ocean, with the tropical sunlight, with the amazing, although non-romantic, local people, with the black people, with the Mados, and with the one white girl that I was able to find. If you have followed the experiment, you know my answer already. This was the most life-changing 8 months of my adult life. The short answer is everything except maybe one thing and maybe half another thing that we're gonna get into improved. This is the best I have felt in my adult life. Every way possible. Physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, they are one, in my honest opinion. Everything is everything. They all improved. And we made massive discoveries. So you can also reap the benefits of this masterwork. First, let's talk about the 1.5 things that were the only negatives, basically. The biggest negative was that I kept burning from my forehead and my nose. All the other places on my body, on my black-white body, were black enough. But I guess my nose and a forehead is not a real nigga yet. Because all the rest of my body could take even the Panama's UV-14 sunlight all day. And I only got darker, like a real nigga would. First time my forehead and my nose actually started to peel was in Manuel Antonio, Costa Rica, which is weird because it was the last place I was in Costa Rica. Before that, I didn't have any of the problem. And if you look at my skin in some of the beginning episodes of Costa Rica, it was fucking amazing, I gotta say. My skin was looking so good. Then, in Manuel Antonio, which might be, for the scientists out there might be a funny connection because that's the area that most of the rich people are, that I saw most of the towers from the beach. Non-native EMFs may be the highest, except San Jose, but obviously in San Jose I wasn't there and I wasn't fucking sunbathing at all there. So that was the first place I burned a little bit. Then I went to Ometepe, and if you watch my videos through Ometepe, my skin actually healed at the end of Ometepe. Interesting. Then I went to Corn Islands. Little Corn, no problem. But at the bighorn, one day it happened again. I was a lot in the ocean, I was diving and shit. I think that also was a gee that happened in Manuel Antonio. I was in the ocean, I got my face in the salt water and all that with a very high UV. And maybe that same thing happened in bighorn, the great corn. And then I kinda burned it a little bit again. Get that little pink skin after it's been peeled. And then it kinda stayed until now basically. It never really got melanated again. It's still, if you look at my skin here, it's a more pinkish than outside. Also my nose still has a little bit of peeling. And I've been in the Finland now for 1.5 weeks. So that's really the only negative. And to me that's not really even, well, it's a negative and no negative. For a people that care about vanity, which is most of the motherfuckers in today, because vanity is a great reason and great tool for the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the capital corporations to sell all these bullshit products and make people feel that they are not enough. And vanity is also a bigger problem, of a bigger issue that you can see with relationships, especially these days, with all these looks maxing and girls with their fake boobs, fake lips, fake ass, everything fake, vanity, vanity, vanity. And even the guys, like I said, with the looks maxing stuff, that are completely fucked in the head with the vanity stuff, which is just a bigger issue that the body is really not working. The dopamine is incredibly low. Everybody's anxiety-ridden, low agency motherfucker. And they are very fearful. They cannot attract a mate. And the Rockefellers and Rothschilds love that shit, so they can sell their bullshit vanity products to them. And operations and whatnot. So, for me, things that are vanity, I don't give a two fucks about them. And to me this is mostly about vanity, but also it signals to me that I have some problems still with deuterium, mainly. Or just being too white for UV14. Maybe both of them, mixture of the both. But maybe I have a little bit problems with deuterium clearing still from this area of my body. Obviously there's an easy answer to fix this. Just wear a fucking hat, go to the shadows more. But I'm kinda extreme personality. Sometimes when you get burned by flying too close to the sun, it's actually the answer to still be close to the sun and fix the fucking problem. But maybe in my case, it didn't really work out that well. But that's really the only negative. Real negative, like physical negative, that I could have think of. The vanity is not a negative for me. And obviously, like I was talking about the vanity of the young people, especially, who are completely fucked up by the modern environment. That's the real root cause. And really the big discovery of this experiment. Everything is about your zip code. Everything is about your environment, how you feel, how you act, how you behave, how your state of being is. And my point was that in Panama last 2 weeks, my nose was fucking incredibly sunburned. Guess did my white girl that I attracted in Panama care? No. She didn't give two shits. So, relationships are not about vanity. It's a deeper issue that I already told you the answer to, and the answer is baked in the Tropics all day experiment. But anyway, maybe the deuterium is still a little issue for me in this area of my body. Or maybe I'm just not nigga enough. That might also be the answer. And next time maybe I'll wear a hat a little bit, or my homemade do-rag that I wear in Panama. And it helped with my forehead, but not with my nose, obviously. The second kind of half negative, well, this is not really negative at all. It's also about vanity. My hair got incredibly tangled together, shaggy, Rastafari-like a real nigga. So I have a really straight hair, as you can see from my raw chicken experiment videos from the Finland. But when I went to Costa Rica, I started to notice like my hair starts to tangle and just start to do its own thing in the high humidity environment. And soon I realized like I'm not a fag enough to keep up with this hair. Like I'm just gonna let the nature do what nature does. I don't give a fuck. Whatever happens, happens. Let nature decide. And nature decided to put my head in one big Rastafari shaggy mess, basically. But that's also a vanity issue. It actually makes the bun, which I always use when I'm bubbling it out. I like to put my hair in a bun. It actually makes a really good strong bun that doesn't break up. So I actually like it. But now, like back of my hair, it's just a one big shaggy mess. My girl told me that she could fix it, but I was like, we're gonna wait until Finland, because in the tropics, like, I just don't have the fag in me to keep it up, keep it not untangling, and I don't care. So that's kind of like a vanity negative, but my hair is a big plus from this experiment. Like shedding, completely gone. Before I started raw chicken experiment, obviously I was balding like a motherfucker. I've talked about this many times. Like I was shedding big time for years. With all my retardation I did in my 20s and early 30s. It kinda started to stop. It kinda slowed down a lot with my raw chicken experiment when I started to plug into nature and stuff. But still I was shedding like a little bit. Tropics, no shedding at all. My hair, incredibly strong. Maybe that's why it's also starts to turn in black people, nappy hair. There's a reason why black people from the equator have rastas and nappy hair. And my hair kind of starts to turn into that as well there. And my hair was just like super strong all the time. Still is. Like best it has been since when I was like maybe 15 or 16. I gotta be honest. So that's a big sign, guys. Hair tells, at least for my body, a lot about my environment. And you can actually see from the videos, if you pay attention, you can just see how good the environment is from my hair. And if you use that, you can see that in Nicaragua the environment was the best. Especially in the Corn Islands, and after that, rest of my stay in Nicaragua, it probably peaked in the great farmhouse in El Capulin. My hair was really thick and nice looking. The best it's ever been. Even still today it's not as good, but it's still pretty good. But there my hair just was blooming like a flower. My antenna was getting all the downloads. But I'm still pretty happy here. Even in Finland, I have told this in my past videos as well. When I'm at my cabin, where there's no towers, no non-native EMS anywhere nearby, except the phone signal that you can cut off anytime you want. My hair is always the best there in Finland. Or here. So my hair, a big win. Now this is the biggest win for me, because when I started all of this nonsense, when I was like 12, 13, 14. And by nonsense I mean being interested about health, feeling good. Was because when I was like 12 and I looked some other people, like even some old ass people back then, and I was like, how the fuck do you have way more energy than me? And I'm 12-year-old kid. Like I should have all the energy in the world. And some of these old guys, or some other people my age, they just had this endless energy. They were doing this and that. Their mind worked so well. Their thoughts, their words were so clear when they were speaking. And they were just very active person, full of energy, doing this and that. And I didn't feel that as a kid. And to be honest, I haven't felt that from that age till now, till I went to the tropics. I went to the Costa Rica. That's like almost 20 years of my life. My whole teenage adult life. And it was obviously because I didn't know what I was doing. But that drove me into all the wrong rabbit holes basically, because I didn't have enough dopamine, I didn't have enough first principle thinking, I didn't have enough brain power, I didn't have enough good mentors or teachers in real life to tell my damn ass what to do. So I went all the wrong rabbit holes in search of this energy that I knew was out there because I could see it in some people. I just didn't feel it, but I wanted to feel it. Because nobody wants to feel like shit. Except these days the most low dopamine depressed, low agency motherfuckers that are actually a good portion of the lemming population. They actually wanna feel shit and just wanna be the victim, which is like, let those guys burn, guys. You have to let those guys kinda suffocate in their suffering. You feeling me? But I wasn't never there. I still had the hope, little bit of life force left in me that I wanted to feel better. And that led me here where I'm at right now. Finally, only took 20 years. You see how hard it is to find the real answers in the modern matrix? They don't make it easy out there. With the algorithms and shit. They don't really make it easy. Because they know the truth, guys. At least they know most of the truth. And they know what they need to block from the masses. It's no surprise why the algorithms don't pick any of this shit up. It's no surprise why the big social media companies, who created them, huh? Why they shadow ban certain type of ideas and agendas, and why they push the other ones. Anyway, in Costa Rica it took me a couple days in Costa Rica and I was like sprinting at the beach and I was like, so it was this easy. It was this easy all along. You just need to be in a nature on steroids basically, where the sun is fucking strong as fuck, the grounding is good as fuck, and the nature makes you feel absolutely incredible. Naturally. Happens naturally. You don't have to force this or that. You just have to be and let the nature do the work for you. So, at the end of my raw chicken experiment, when I was in Finland, one of the biggest problems I still had was I felt kind of fatigued. Like maybe 40% of the time, maybe 50% of the time. I was pretty fatigued. I was also very stiff. Like my body became very stiff at some point. Like incredibly stiff. And you know me, I'm like this. I have been this pretty damn high level athlete, let's be honest, guys. Like, I'm like 1% with my black white jeans of athleticism. So I know my body extremely well. And through my athletic stuff, I also got some muscle skeletal injuries and issues that were still lingering in my body when I ended the raw chicken experiment. So fatigued, some small injuries in my joints, my shoulder, my knees. My calves were incredibly stiff. My hamstrings were incredibly stiff, I remember. Like athletically, I felt like a shadow of my former past. And I didn't even have the fucking energy to do anything really about it. So those were some of the big issues. And they started to fix themselves first week in Costa Rica. I started to notice like a huge improvement. And now the whole time there, all of the injuries gone. Like all of them. I don't have any nicks or necks or whatever in my body. My body feels extremely good. All my joints feel extremely strong again. Collagen, deuterium, you feeling me? My energy, like I've said many times, have never been this high. Like I have sky high energy on my body and on my brain the whole day basically. Even still here at Finland, my brain has never worked this good. Like it's really easy to tell how good your brain works if you film yourself and try to get your ideas and thoughts in a video. You can just try it by yourself. You don't have to publish the video or anything like that. But just start getting your ideas and thoughts on a video form for yourself and see how fucking hard it is at first. Obviously it's also a skill and you get better the more you do it. But I can tell I have been making videos for like every single day almost for the past 2 years. And before that I had my vegan channel for years. And I remember back then I had to edit the video. I had to edit the fuck out of the videos because I couldn't get a clear, coherent sentence through my brain to the words, to the existence. I couldn't manifest a one single good sentence back then because I was basically retarded. When I started the raw chicken experiment, I wanted to do one single take videos like I mostly do, except when I like to edit or my camera overheats or whatever. Because I wanted to challenge myself and just see for myself how my brain works. Because for me that's really good way to see how the brain is working, just how well you can get your, like I already told you, how well you can manifest your ideas and thoughts into this existence through words. And that has never been this easy as it is now and during this experiment. Obviously there's like little changes during the day to day, but you have to look it from the 1,000-yard view and just see the overall trends, how you do. And it's never been this good. Like I'm getting downloads left and right with my brain. I'm getting all kinds of ideas. And I can actually internalize and kind of understand many of the concepts and ideas that I'm studying or just feeling in general with myself. And things are very clear. I have a lot of clarity about life, myself, other people, the problems of this world, the problems I have, my family have, my friends have. Like just everything is very clear. And it feels really great. Obviously, there's still things that I can deepen my understanding of. Like a lot. Looking at you, Uncle Jack Cruz, and some other people as well. So there's always things to learn, get deeper at. But my brain never been this good in my adult life. Never even close to this good. Like, I came back from pure retardation from my 20s to where we are at now, and it's pretty amazing what nature can do to you. Like, it can heal a lot. Now obviously most people are even more fucked up these days, and when you are fucked up, your dopamine is very low. You can give, like, this information I'm giving you or the other people, like, you can give the truth to low dopamine lemmings and they still don't get it. The answer is sitting right over there. You can even show by example the answer to these people, and they will not get it. They will go do the wrong thing. They will go gamble. They will get out their vape hit. They will go masturbate to the porn. Like, that's low dopamine. But my dopamine never been this high. It was so easy to keep high dopamine in the tropics because you get so much of the sunlight. And just like the inspiration and motivation you feel there most of the day. And that doesn't mean that you always want to act on it. Sometimes you just want to reflect things, chill, think about things. But still, the brain is just like constantly going over all these concepts and thoughts and getting these reads and observations. And they all kind of link together beautifully. It all makes sense. And it's a great feeling. Now obviously when the brain works, the body also works really great. Like, one thing with my fatigue that I had with my raw chicken experiment still, like, my heart felt, like, my cardiovascular health didn't feel the best. Like I said, I was fatigued. I didn't felt any desire to exercise at all, and I would fatigue quite fast. But first week in Costa Rica I was sprinting, and that obviously just got better and better. And like, some things, I've never been a good swimmer. I always get very tired at swimming very fast. That's always been me. That's the nigga in me basically. But there, I'm always at the ocean a lot and swimming if there's no big waves. And my swimming just improved drastically. Also, I could hold my breath almost the triple amount of time without any practice that I did in Finland. Because all the time I go in the lakes here in Finland, I face dunk and I hold my breath, kind of see what that does. It's a pretty good practice. Also tells you a lot about yourself. And then when I did it in the tropics, I didn't really do it in Costa Rica. I wasn't thinking about it. And the Costa Rican ocean sides were mostly with waves. But then in the Corn Islands one day, it was very clear water. I was swimming a lot. I was feeling like extremely good, like I did every single day in Corn Islands. And then I was like just face dunking and holding my breath, and I could do like 1 minute 40 seconds like nothing. That's when the first thought came, like, I want to take a breath. I could probably hold it even longer, but I just did like the minimum. And usually in Finland it was like 30 seconds, which is kind of bad. So that was like the triple amount of time without no practice, just being in the tropics. So that was pretty cool. Now obviously I was walking a lot there with my adventures, and I was very active all the time in the tropics. Like, I was always going to the beach, to the jungle, always doing this and that. And I just had endless energy, like physical energy also. I didn't have any of the issues with fatigue, with my cardiovascular system. And I actually wanted to just kind of do some stuff, like do those sprints. Then when I really started to feel my joints getting better, those nagging injuries I was talking about, when I started to feel my joints getting strong again, and I didn't feel those injuries anymore, that's when I started to also do some of those flips. You can see and they were feeling pretty good. Like that's a really good test for my body, just to see where my muscle skeletal system basically is, because that those tricks are very high impact, so you need very strong and robust muscles and joints to do them, especially on a sand. Sand is pretty hard surface to pull those tricks off, and I was very surprised. In the first time I really did those was in Corn Islands, and I could still feel a little bit on some of my joint issues, but it was way better than it was last summer in Finland, like way better. Then in El Salvador, which is a couple of months after, I did some of those flips and I didn't feel any of the injuries anymore. And then in Panama I also did some of the stuff, and my body was like completely rid of all the nicks and knacks I was talking about. And now I've been doing some jumps here and all kinds of stuff. Like I still have, like when I walk around, well, next video I'm gonna talk about how I'm been feeling in Finland. What's been the change from coming to the tropics to Finland. That's gonna be next video. But anyway, just amazing physical benefits all across. Never had this much energy. Never had this clear of thoughts. Never had this much clarity. Also, I lost maybe 2 kilos in those 8 months. Just naturally, like with food, I've talked about this. I really wanted to, when I started to feel really good, I really wanted to test the idea from Jack that you can eat shit from a shingle. And I really started to do like whatever. French toast, pancakes, some fucking bakery shit. Like bread. I was making, like I said, some French toast. Like whatever. I was just eating whatever. And every time, it would not affect me at all. Like my blood sugar, not affected at all. My mood, not affected at all. My digestion, not affected at all. My energy levels, not affected at all. My mental performance, my emotional state, not affected at all. And that's like completely upside down what most modern humans feel, because the environment is so bad. Like if most of the people in Finland or other Western countries, maybe North America is the worst, they eat one single thing that's kinda considered bad, they feel absolutely wrecked. That's why people are doing all these crazy diets, this elimination diet, carnivore diet, keto, all that, because people cannot handle single little bit more of deuterium. That's gonna completely lattice lock them straight away. But I didn't have that problem in the tropics at all. I could eat everything and nothing was bothering me. And this was completely the opposite that I had in Finland. That's why I started the chicken experiment. That's why I tried all these fucking diets. Because I was reacting badly. Not as badly as a lot of people these days, but still badly to many of the foods here. But then there, few months in Costa Rica I didn't really test that much yet. I was just healing. But in Nicaragua I really tested that. Like I was eating at restaurants all the time, whatever I wanted. I just got whatever I want, whenever I want. And I didn't have any food intolerances at all. Only thing I would probably get sometimes were a couple like white spots. I usually get them like here or in my chest. And they would be gone in like one day. Getting rid of the excess deuterium that didn't go to my piss or poop or my sweat. That was like the only thing I got from eating all this junk food. And it was pretty amazing to me. Because obviously I had been in the diet paradigm for such a long time that didn't bring any results. Really. I was just going slowly but surely downhill. And not always that slowly. Sometimes it was fast downhill. Especially when I was doing that vegan shit here at Finland. But so that's the food situation. And I lost 2 kilos on those 8 months I checked here. And you can see it in my body. Like I was a little flappy on the stomach when you go see the first videos I made in Costa Rica. And now I'm basically like pretty shredded. Like not absolutely shredded because I don't really exercise. I just do some of flips, some sprints here and there, maybe some pull-ups here and there. When I feel like I have overflow of energy in my body, I just want to do some manly shit. I just move my body and be a savage, basically. So I lost 2 kilos, but also I gained some muscle back. And like I said, my joints feel very good, but also my muscles feel extremely good. Like there's a reason why all the best athletes come from equatorial zones. They are black people. There's 2 types. There's the endurance black people that win all the endurance races, and then there's the explosive, highly athletic black people that win all the sprinting, explosive sports, NBA, NFL, all those. And there's a reason why. Like I saw some of these guys in Corn Island. They look like a bodybuilders, even though they don't work out at all. Their dopamine is extremely high because dopamine controls your muscle, what kind of muscle fiber you get. And I could feel this big time. I have very explosive muscle fiber type, as you can tell. Like I'm a top 1% of the white people. I'm basically a black guy. Now I cannot compete with some of the black guys, but I'm pretty close. And I had lost some of this ability here in Finland before I went to the tropics, like I said. But I basically gained it all back. And now I feel super explosive again. Like my muscles just feel extremely good. They also look way better, even though I don't really do much of that at all. And my strength level is really high. Like I could test it. Like my all-time max deadlift, for example, is a little over 500 pounds, which is 230 kilos, which is really good for my body weight. It's triple the body weight. I couldn't probably do that, but I could do probably 200 kilos right now from coal. Same with squats, all that shit. So that's what nature can do for athletes. With athletic stuff, that's really one of the keys. Not only the vegan that I always mention, but also the athletic stuff I was doing. That messed me up so bad because I was training every single day, hard as fuck, in very, very hellhole shitty environment. So that fucked up my joints, my muscles over time. That's why I had these nagging injuries. And then when I went to good environment, I was grounded all the time, basically naked or half naked, in a very high UV sunlight, creating dopamine, left like all the fucking time, cooking with gas. I got all those abilities that nature has blessed me pretty much back. And I'm older now. Remember also that your heteroplasmy goes higher when you go older. But I actually feel younger now because I did so many things wrong for the last 15-20 years that I can actually go back in time. I think that's one of the reasons why Jack always says life is costly in time, not energy. Because you can speed up time in your body, but you can also go back in time when you do the right shit. So all the athletes, you can really fuck up your body. Like exercise, 100% can be a toxin in the modern world, and it is a huge toxin. And if you want to be the best athlete you can, always outside, grounded. And the better the outside environment is, with the better light, better grounding, better magnetism, better your athletic performance. So that's a little tip for the athlete. I have seen so many people fuck themselves with athletic stuff. Like actual athletes, professional athletes, but also the lemmings, because the Rockefellers and Rothschilds have made the fitness and just doing all these sports and stuff very hip and cool thing to do. And the obvious reason really is that is also one of the keys that they fuck us over, make us a customer for their businesses, the supplement industry, the fitness supplement industry, but also their medical industry, because all these injuries. So that was a huge win. Emotionally, like most people, especially in the Western world, are emotional wrecks. They're either depressed, apathetic, hopeless, nihilistic, or they're like maniac, schizophrenic, all over the fucking place, bouncing around, doing all the fucking little hits for the dopamine, gambling, sex, porn, all of the very unnatural behaviors. In the tropics, just like my emotional state, it was super easy to be the most white-pilled guy out there. Now Mexico, as you know from the experiment, was a different story. Gonna be interesting here at Finland maxing again. But all the other times, really, it's so easy to be white-pilled and just be the happiest go-lucky guy there is. It's so easy. Like most of the days, I would just preferably sit naked in the tropical sunlight. I would just laugh how good I feel. Like it was so ridiculous to me how easy it is to feel this good and this happy as a human being. Like, I would just fucking laugh and just like do these roars of excitement and all that I found this knowledge, because like there was no external stimulus at all. I was just being in nature with myself and I would feel amazing. For me, some of the other things that really can amplify this feeling are music. When I was very depressed here in Finland, very black-pilled, I didn't really want to listen to any music. I was just kind of want to sit in the silence, and that's always good. Like meditating in silence, or the sounds of nature, hearing these birds chirp around and all that. Like that's always good. That's always good. But for me, when my dopamine is really high, I love to listen to some music that I like. And I like white people and black people music. And I like to listen it loudly. And it makes me feel euphoric as fuck. And it makes me also get a bunch of downloads, ideas. It makes me feel like anything is possible. I can manifest fucking everything. I can burn this matrix down if I put my mind into it. I can create the best community in the world for myself and my friends and my family if I fucking wanna do it. Like that's how it makes me feel. So also it really brings my like full self out of the play. Like my confidence extremely high. I don't fear anything anymore. Like I talked about this in the last video I did from Panama when I talked about the story how I met the white girl. And how there's all these questions. He's in Panama right now. I'm here. What's gonna happen? Guess what? I don't fear any of that shit. Whatever happens, I can fucking deal with it. I got the life force. I got the courage, the power in me to deal with anything. That's how I fucking feel about these things. When you feel that naturally, like this all should come naturally. You don't have to force a thing. It just comes out of you into the existence. It's just your natural state of being. And when you feel that, you feel like everything is possible. And you can be the happiest motherfucker with so little, guys. So fucking little. Like I said, you can fucking feel like a king in Nicaragua for like $1,800 bills a month. Even fucking less probably. You don't need any of this luxury shit. Any of this capitalistic Rockefeller Rothschild technocratic AI shit. Whatever. Any of the vanity shit like I talked about. It's all so superfluous to you. So superfluous. Because you feel what's really important in life. You already feel the ultimate feeling you can get in life. And then there's things like love and family and human connection that can even amplify it even more. And when those two go together, that's how you form a healthy relationship, guys. That's why all these relationships are failing, because everybody's redox is fucking dog shit. But when your redox is high and your partner's redox is high, that's what the bear bonding is all about. That's why our grandfathers and grandmothers could be together 80 years, 90 years. Still getting after it in the good old days. So that's how I felt. And it's really the best feeling in the world, like I said. It's really beautiful feeling. It's really easy to have motivation when you have this energy. This life force just coming out of you. Super high dopamine. It's very easy to see the things. Whoa. The birds are fighting. So, like I would say, these things are like emotional, spiritual things. Also, like I said, just ideas, thoughts, like great thoughts naturally coming to your head. Like when you're depressed or nihilistic, black pilled, it's all the worst thoughts. Like there's no point anything. Whatever I do, I'm always gonna fail. The world is doomed, doom and gloom, brain rot. And now they are even made these things like the hip and cool thing to do. To just keep people in the victim circle. And it's really easy with the modern environment. Really fucking easy. But if you feel like that, do what I do. The more, I always say this, the more fucked up you are, the more time it will take. For me, it was like a couple days in Costa Rica. I already felt the benefit. As you can see from my first videos I made there. And then it just kept getting better and better. Like this is how I would describe this. Raw chicken experiment in Finland. We kinda here. Then we went to Costa Rica. And it was immediately like 50-degree angle up. Just fucking full head of steam. Feeling good as a motherfucker. But then we went to Nicaragua, dude. We were cooking with all the gas in the world. Everything was possible. White-pilled as fuck. Never felt this good in my life. Felt like everything was working out. Life was the most beautiful it has been. Then we went to Mexico. Starting to get black-pilled. Uh-oh. But then that was only 2 weeks. Costa Rica, El Salvador. Back again. Not as... How do you say it? The angle of going up was not as high as in Costa Rica or Nicaragua, but it was going up again. Slowly but surely. It was good. The community was really good. Then in Panama, it was probably the same angle than Costa Rica again. And every day was a blessing. Feeling good. Enjoying life. Very easy to enjoy life when you feel like that. Getting them downloads. Met my white girl. Fell in love. Like the most magical time you can fucking imagine. Other things I noticed, physical things. When the non-native EMFs are high, I start to get dry, even in humid environments. When the non-native EMFs are good, in the tropics, I feel plum. I feel like a ripe plum. No wrinkles. No dry skin at all. None of that lizard skin. You'll feel like a full ripe human being. So that was one of the big things. Skin and hair. My beard grows faster there. It also got darker. When I came back, my mother said, "Whoa, your beard has gotten way darker there." Well, maybe not. Well, she said way, but maybe not way. But it was a little reddish when I left. Now she said it's darker. It's also growing faster. And maybe thicker, who knows. But that's one of the things. I probably got a little bit more blonde, who knows. A little bit more blue in the eyes. The master race. Strong here. The more white and black you can get, the better. Get the mongoloid out of you. Libido, very high all the time usually. But also very easy to not fall into the internet core and shit. Like even with high libido, you don't feel the draw into that. That's low dopamine shit. My nails were growing really fast and really strong. And some of you guys gave me some shit because when I first got to Costa Rica, I didn't cut my nails for months because I wanted to see, and I didn't have the reasons I have now to not cut the nails, if you're feeling me. But I wanted to see how they grow and do they break easily, and they didn't. Another good sign. Like all the bodily functions. I didn't have any digestive issues in the whole time, except in Ometepe when I had some stomach bug for 2 weeks. That was really the only time. And I did have the small food poisoning from the seafood in Tulum. But that was like very easy peasy. Over in one morning. Other than that, every single day, very regular. After the breakfast, you go do your business. It's done. No bloating ever. Minimal farts the whole time. and I could eat everything. So, sleep. I would say my sleep was really good 80% of the time. 20% of the time it was really like not terrible ever. But there were like nights here and there. Like I was tossing, not really getting that deep sleep. Sometimes it was because I didn't have AC on the bungalow and it was a little hot. That always is very bad for the sleep. Sometimes it might be other things. But like 80% pretty good. This was really good there. It was so easy to wake up during the sunrise every single day. I didn't miss a single sunrise, maybe a couple ones. Little bit. Like in 20-30 minutes, little bit. But like 99% of the time, I was always naturally up when the sun started to come up. And that was really nice. And I always went to bed naturally very early. Like when I got to Costa Rica, I went to sleep like 7 p.m. or something. Then it kind of turned into like 8 or 9. That was the natural time rest of the time. But it's so easy there with the light cycles being always like 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. It's super easy there. So much easier than here. I could tolerate the heat super easy. Like pretty much never ever I felt too hot, except few nights in some places, but that was also very few nights. So I could handle the high UV sunlight very easy, except my nose and forehead, like the highest of the high UV. But other part of my body, easy peasy, and the heat, easy peasy, the humidity, easy peasy, no problem. So that was good. I think that's pretty much it. If you have some questions, leave them. If you wanna fund the research so we can make the next experiments even more based, the links are down below. Consults open if you wanna chat with your boy. Best experiment, best time of my life, the most magical time of my life. Life can still be magical, guys, in 2026. Most people don't feel it, most people don't believe it, but they don't know their ass from their elbow, so how the fuck would they fucking know what's up and what's down? But we here at the Best Science, we're gonna do now. It was a 20-year journey, but now we are at the right side of history. And that feels pretty fucking good. I'm gonna be honest. Life has never made so much sense to me. And when life makes sense, and life feels good, nothing can kill your motherfucking vibe. Not even the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the technocratic nerds. None of them. When you know what to do, you know how to block into nature and feel the fucking magic. Thank you. Tropics all day experiment concluded for now. Go back and watch all the episodes. There's some heavy hitters, some bangers out there. some magical ones, some funny ones. Thanks for all the comments, thanks for all the support, thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the people I met. Love my friends. Love my girl. Love my family. Life is good. Until next time. See you later. Alligators.